Spike Spiegel is one of the coolest characters in all of anime. He's the definition of a jack of all trades. He's able to interact with anyone and can win them over with ease. He's loyal to his friends and always tries to do right by them. He's the Tom Hanks of the sky and space, the Bruce Lee of martial arts, and the Keanu Reeves when he needs to pull out the strap. Okay, I may have gotten a little carried away, but his skills are top notch and very versatile. He can sniff out deception and is always one step ahead of those who oppose him. However, Spike can act erratically as he acts on impulse and can be stubborn in seeing others' points of views. I'm TBEMike and thank you for joining me. Today we are going to do a character profile of the infamous Spike Spiegel, the main character of Cowboy Bebop. This video contains heavy spoilers for Cowboy Bebop, so if you haven't watched it, I suggest you do, as it is a short watch with only 26 episodes. I'm going to use specific clips of the show and offer my analysis of what made Spike Spiegel, Spike Spiegel. To understand Spike, we must first understand his background. He was a former member of the Syndicate, or Yakuza, or the Mafia, or whatever you want to call it. To get out of it, he had to fake his own death. However, for those of you that watch mob movies, you are never fully out of the mob, and is something that stays with you for the rest of your life. And of course, this past would soon catch up with him, and we will talk about it soon. Another thing about Spike is that after he left the Syndicate, he decided to be a bounty hunter and partnered up with Jet about 3 years ago.
It's been 3 years since I teamed up with you, but I never knew you had such ridiculous ideas about this thing. What a joke!
Jet and Spike have a really good relationship with one another. They have a really good professional and personal relationship when it comes to hunting bounties and being roommates in the same ship. Yeah, they have a fight every now and again. However, they always come through for one another. Spike is just one of those people that no matter how many times they possibly screw up, you still care about no matter what. Jet and Spike definitely had that relationship. However, with this relationship, Spike is really not open with himself to others. This almost gets him and Jet killed during an ambush. This whole ambush was brought on by a coup d'etat performed by Spike's arch nemesis, Vicious. However, this coup d'etat failed and anyone ever associated with the people who did it are a target. That is the reason that Spike and Jet were ambushed in that bar. Spike and Vicious used to be buddies in the Syndicate, but it's unknown how close they actually were. Cowboy Bebop doesn't go into that much detail on this. However, one thing is clear. Spike and Vicious both love the same woman named Julia. Julia was also part of the Syndicate, which is also a reason that she is now a target because she was associated with both Spike and Vicious.
What happened, Shin? Vicious is gonna be executed. He tried to pull off the coup, but it backfired. They got him in the chamber, and you're a target now too. So's Julia. Julia?
She had the opportunity to leave with Spike, but didn't go with him.
When this is over, I'm getting out of it. All of it. When I do, will you come with me?
It is unclear why she didn't go, but she regrets it later on. Once Spike finds out that Julia is back, he regains hope and goes out to find her.
Hold on!
I don't have any money.
She said she'd be waiting there. She said you'd know what she meant.
Well, I don't, sorry.
Her name is Julia. Someone's trying to kill her, Spike. They're after her.
I mentioned this earlier, but I just wanted to show this clip of Jet and Spike's relationship and just how great it was.
Mike, can you still fly? Don't worry about us. Just go. Find what you lost and get it back.
Spike ends up meeting her, and they talk it out. Julia gives her reasoning for not originally going with Spike.
If I had, I would have been free.
So why didn't you? You chose to be hunted. Why?
Why did you love me?
Although Spike and Julia are together in only one episode, you can still tell that what they felt for one another was mutual. Julia mentions to Spike just running away together and starting somewhere new, but says that she is with him till the end no matter what. They go to an old friend, Annie, that they knew during the Syndicate. However, the Syndicate has already gotten to her. Annie ends up dying, and Spike and Julia soon find themselves having to face the Syndicate. They are almost able to make it out, but Julia ends up being shot from behind. This ends up killing her, and this breaks Spike. The girl he waited for so long is now dead. It is at this point that Spike makes up his mind. He must destroy the very thing that he tries so desperately to escape. Before we get to the end, I just want to point out some of Spike's character flaws. His biggest flaw, in my opinion, is not listening to the input of others. While some people's input can be ignored, others, such as people close to him, he ignores for whatever reason. With Spike, it is always his way or the highway. I'm just going to play a couple clips that show this, just so you get an understanding.
You know, I don't tell you what to do, but just don't get tangled up with Vicious anymore, right? Why am I talking to you? It's useless.
Sorry.
You've never listened to anyone in your whole life. And on top of that, you're a stubborn show-off. You think it'd kill you to listen to your elders for once? No, that's too much to ask.
I said I don't feel like doing this.
Then I have no choice.
Hold on a minute, Spike.
Hey, I don't want to bother you.
Don't get salty, all right? Just how much do you know about these boys?
Enough to get the picture.
Well then,
There's a fat bounty, plenty of info on the guy, and we have a lead. So what are you scared of?
Spike, you're avoiding the subject and you know it. What are you trying to hide from me?
One of his other slight flaws is that he can be a hothead at times, which can drive a lot of people away from him. Despite his flaws, he is still an outstanding character that looks out for people and is very stoic in his approach to life. This clip right here truly shows this.
Hey, Jet. You know, I got some whiskey hidden behind the fridge. Why don't you help yourself, bud?
Huh? What went wrong?
The fuel tanks are empty. There's nothing I can do now.
How about I rendezvous and tow you back in exchange for the whiskey?
I heard the conversation. Give me the exact coordinates of the swordfish.
Doohan.
He heads back to the ship one last time. Jet and him have a final laugh together and a deep conversation. I honestly don't want to ruin the conversation for you, so I'm going to play a little bit of here, and it gets deep.
Hey, Spike.
Yeah?
I just want to ask you one thing.
What's that?
Is it for the girl?
She's dead. There's nothing I can do for her now.
Faye also gets to talk to Spike one last time. She talks to him after having a serious revelation in her life with her memory coming back. Faye doesn't want Spike to go and says he has thrown his life away for trying to go and defeat the Syndicate, but Spike doesn't look at it that way.
And now you're leaving, just like that. Why do you have to go? Where are you going? What are you going to do? Just throw your life away like it was nothing?
I'm not going there to die. I'm going to find out if I'm really alive. I have to do it, Faye.
I know a lot of people would have loved to see Jet and Faye help Spike with his mission, but Jet mentions earlier that this is Spike's own battle, and he must do so on his own.
So what? You want me to go looking for him? Forget it. He's dealing with his own past. It's his fight.
Even if Faye and Jet offer to help, Spike would have most likely said no to them, because he doesn't want to get them involved with his past. Spike then goes to find out if he's still alive and completely annihilates all his opposition at the Syndicate base. Spike then runs into Shin's brother, who tells him that Shin was waiting for Spike to come back and take over. I think this shows just the amount of respect people had for Spike, that they were willing to risk their lives for who they wanted to lead the Syndicate. Spike gets what he wants and finds Vicious, and the final duel commences. They both end up killing each other, and the legend of Spike Spiegel comes to an end. What do you think of Spike Spiegel and Cowboy Bebop? In my opinion, we need a prequel. The whole anime is very good and is in my top 5 out of the animes I've seen. I'm thinking of doing profiles for Jet and Faye, so let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that. I will also be doing some Dragon Ball content, since that's the majority of my views on YouTube. I'll be going more in depth with Dragon Ball and make it kinda in a style of a video like I made this. Please let me know what you think in the comments. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. I will see you in my next video.